Hi, I'm Melissa Kennedy. I'm CEO of International Rett Syndrome Foundation. Rett syndrome is a rare condition affecting about 1 in 10,000 females and even fewer males. It's a clinical diagnosis, but it's confirmed by a genetic test that identifies a mutation or a deletion on the MECP2 gene. It has a hallmark symptom of loss of purposeful hand use, and most individuals with Rett syndrome cannot speak. They have seizures, breathing and GI issues, and the majority of individuals with Rett cannot walk, and many develop scoliosis. With increased use of eye gaze technology, which many individuals have access to now and use effectively, we've come to understand that they're cognitively age appropriate and understand everything that is going on around them. They are trapped. Most individuals with Rett syndrome live well into adulthood and require 24/7 care. Our foundation has been in existence since 2007. We have a dual mission of accelerating research to advance therapies that alleviate symptoms of Rett, while we simultaneously fund research that is aimed at curing Rett syndrome. We also empower families who are living with Rett by connecting them to community resources, one another, and clinical care as well, all with that idea of making their daily lives better. We focus on both care and cure. I was honored to be asked to be part of the first cohort of the FasterCures LeadersLink Program. I've had a healthcare career, healthcare administration, but was new to Rare Disease Foundation work and the Rare Disease Foundation world. My goal with my program or my project was to evaluate the mechanisms that were used to fund research and migrate them to a model where our foundation was paid back our investment should the investment ever result in something that was commercializable for Rett syndrome. I'm happy to say that in spite of the challenges that were presented by COVID, and there were a lot of them, we were able to do that. The models that we deploy are different depending upon the grantee. Our contracts with academic institutions look a lot different than our contracts with industry startups. But each of our contracts now has a mechanism in which we're paid back upon commercialization. This slide shows the large number of organizations that have an active Rett syndrome program. Many of these are very small startups. One of the most important aspects of our payback model was to make sure that we didn't do anything that would interfere or impinge upon the drug development glide path. If we asked too much of a return or too quick of a return, or even if we asked for intellectual property, we could interfere with our goals of bringing drugs and therapies rapidly to market. Our goal is simply to have our initial investment returned to us times a small multiplier, maybe 2 or 3, so that we can continue to invest in science. One of the pieces of advice that I would have for foundations or organizations that are new in this space is to understand that one size does not fit all. You need to have flexibility when approaching grantees or folks that you would like to fund. It's critical to maintain focus on, in our case, the goal of return on investment, but understand that every grantee or every organization you're working with is operating under a different governance structure and a different political and economic framework. So work to find common ground in order to achieve your goal. And then put in the contracts that you have basically what's necessary to achieve that common ground. I'm thrilled to say that thanks to investments made nearly 10 years ago by a visionary board and a chief science officer at IRSF, we may have the first prescribable for Rett syndrome in 2023. There's been a phase 3 clinical trial which was evaluating the compound called trofinetide for use in Rett syndrome, which has demonstrated positive results. This has been a very long journey, and the true heroes have been the families and the individuals with Rett who participated in the clinical trials. They are the ones, not the funders, who deserve the credit for being where we are right now today. All clinical trial and drug development success happens because families are willing to participate in clinical trials. We owe them a debt of gratitude. I've truly enjoyed my time with FasterCures. I've had the great privilege of being paired with brilliant and accomplished mentors who help me to think through different strategies, think outside the box, and help me come up with different approaches to funding drug development. I've made connections and built a network that provides a guiding force for our efforts, past, present, and future. I hope to be able to give back in some small way by providing support and mentorship to the next group of mentees. I truly am grateful to have had this opportunity, and I want to express my sincere appreciation to the Milken Institute FasterCures LeadersLink Program, as well as the mentors who have helped me and our foundation. Thank you.